I'd like to again thank everyone for being here and introduce a dear sister that I just met through another sister friend. And when we talk about connectivity, how I connected is through other connections. How I connected to Lamont was through my dear sister Khalil that's on the line that connected me to Kowiyat. And when I talked to her and met her, I was just so inspired by what she's done and how she works with community and spreads her love and her knowledge. So I want to just read a little bit about what she's done and how she expresses herself, and she'll talk about that because it's so important for us to be able to say what we do and what we've done and what we're going to do. And we don't do enough of that, to acknowledge and to appreciate each other for what we do, because as women, we do so much. We're so multifaceted, and we just do everything that's needed to maintain and to uplift and build our family. So I would like to say that this wonderful queen, Kowiyat, is had the pleasure of growing up in a family with two very rich cultures. Her father is a proud Nigerian of the Yoruba tribe, hailing from Ofe, Nigeria, while her mother has deep Southern roots originating from Halifax, North Carolina. The union created a wonderful, interesting, and rich fusion of the Yoruba culture and values blended with Black soul traditions and customs. Although the lifestyles were very different, there was one unified trait of both cultures: the respect of the elders. Let me say that again: the respect of the elders, and protecting your family and community. Throughout her childhood, she would live in America during the school year and Nigeria during the summer months. And I thought that was so important to see how she is connected on both continents, and how we've done that through GEEC, through coming and doing our work that we do and being connected and connecting and showing our students and learners, as they're referred to in South Africa, that we can connect now. We can come together now, and there's more similarities than there are differences. While a student at one of the historical Black colleges, Morgan State University, a teacher prophetically uttered, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." And those powerful words would be a driving force for our speakers' burning desire to create an environment in which education should be a journey, and not a race fulfilled with exploration, adventure, fun, and progressive learning. Our dear speaker serves as the chancellor of Mount Zion Preparatory Academy. MZPA is a non-denominational private high school in Maryland, designed to tap into the multiple intelligences of students while rejuvenating their natural and inquisitiveness and genuine love for learning. And let me say that again: a love for learning. And that's what we promote through this exchange. Mount Zion Preparatory Academy is a STEAM school: science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, focused on developing the whole child with a curriculum that emphasizes those different components. In addition to the love of education as a young, inquisitive girl, an external fire was ignited within her soul, creating a passion for fashion. Who had always enjoyed being in the room with her aunties as they transformed from the daily grind as professionals and mothers into beautiful, glamorous Nigerian princesses. She would sit quietly captivated as they laughed, joked, told stories, and assisted one another in pulling the final details to their one-of-a-kind ensembles. She naturally anticipated the time when she would no longer be a witness and evolve into a participant of these sacred, magical transformations that she talked about in terms of being a butterfly. She can vividly remember the aunties daunting on her as they finished and looked in the mirror and didn't recognize herself. She thought, this couldn't be her, yet it is her. Nawaja's soul was created so that each child could experience the excitement of transforming into this beautiful princess, a heroic prince. Kuwait's cultivating goal is to feed families, to feed them mentally by providing a safe educational environment in which families are free to think, create and build communities that foster positive advancements, as to feed them physically by employing and training individuals, thus allowing them to have an inspiring career and earn rewarding pay so they can put food on their families' tables. So without further ado, my queen sister, Kowiyat, we welcome you.
Thank you. Peace and blessings again, everyone. I'm so honored to be here today. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I just want to know if you had any questions for me, because I'm just not that, I just think that things can be done differently than the way we normally do things. I'm a teacher, so I believe in interaction. If there's a question you want to know, if there's something that you want to know about me or ask, I'll answer it. And we can have just an open, healthy dialogue.
I'm curious to know about your school in Maryland. Can you just give us a brief introduction of what your school looks like, and and what ethos you use to run the school, and what you as a woman leader is it that you are giving into the school that you think is exceptional? Thank you.
So Mount Zion Preparatory Academy actually is the evolving effect of Mount Zion Prep School. So there's two different schools, Mount Zion Prep School and Mount Zion Preparatory Academy. So Mount Zion Prep School was founded in 2011 by two of my very good brothers, Coach Rod and Coach Brian. And it was founded as a sports academy, a post-secondary school, that 13th year, to give athletes an opportunity to go to school, because there's a lot of athletes that are not able to get scholarships. So these brothers, who are also athletes, formed Mount Zion. And right now, they have a 98% scholarship acceptance for college athletes. So right now we're focusing on basketball, and then we're going to move on to other sports. So because of that, there was a need for, because parents was like, oh, well, you have this, but do you have a high school? So, or do you have other classes? Do you have other grades? And so Mount Zion Preparatory Academy was developed out of Mount Zion Prep School to provide esteemed education, but also to break down the norms of how education is done. Education is boring. Oh my goodness. The classrooms are not fun anymore. I remember when I was young and I was growing up, we would get out, we would do great things. My inspiration has been Joe Clark from Lean On Me. When at the beginning, how he had all the children, he had the high school children racing to the front to do the activities, and they were just so happy and ready to learn. And then you fast forward some years and you see how the school had transformed from when he left into where it is now. So that shows you the power that one good person can do, okay? And so for me, it's always been my inspiring thing to make sure that children are able to be children in those environments. Because education had changed from that learning, that explorative. I remember going on field trips. Anything we learned in the classroom, we would now go out and we would explore it. But the classroom environments now, they don't provide for that. It's pretty much the children are sitting down and just sitting all day long and not being active. So Mount Zion came out of way is that we are going to break down what education is. We're going to redo it. So everything that Mount Zion is about is going to be a new blueprint for what education is going to be. And I just want you to stay tuned and watch it.
I had a question. Can you give us a little bit about your background going back and forth from America to Africa?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, so as you heard from my bio, when Denise got my bio probably like 5 days before it was supposed to be, and because I didn't know how to talk about me. Most people don't know how to talk about themselves. So of course, I Googled other bios and see, let me get a sample. That stuff was boring too. I don't understand why people just can't be themselves. So I'm just like, I'm the one who's making this. I'm making my path. So I'm going to do it my way. So I want to express me. Now, growing up, my father, and so I speak in stories. My father's Nigerian, my mother is American. Well, Black American, and African American. However we want to say it, we have to get something for our own and make it stick though. and they met here in America. He was coming to school. She was a nurse at Johns Hopkins, and he saw her with her overwhelming beauty. My mother, oh my goodness, she could have, her and Pam Grier could have been sisters. She was beautiful. So he was immediately captivated by her, and he was like, I'm saying this is the one. And we had two children. My sister's actually up here, Kowiyat Salako. She's over there smiling. Her face looks like my face. So if you see her, you'll know exactly who she is. And then myself. And so my father's intentions was always to go back to Nigeria. And so we have a lot of people that come, Africans that come in the diaspora and come and get this knowledge and this experience here in America and stay and don't take it back to their country and build that infrastructure and build those societies. So my father left here and went back to Nigeria because he already knew that he wanted to do good things in Nigeria. And he worked for Nigerian Airways for a long time. So I don't know if anybody remember Nigerian Airways. So my sister and I spent our childhood flying from back and forth to America. And so it was a wonderful experience because I had my sister with me. She's my big sister and she was my protector. And so she let nothing happen to me, but it was very challenging for us because now we're caught up in two different cultures. And I was much lighter than I am now. And so going to Nigeria, we didn't look like everybody. And so they would call us Oyinbo, which means white. So we was the Oyinbo children, right? And then in America, we was African booty scratchers because we was running with lions and tigers and all type of stuff. So it wasn't until I attended Morgan State, because after that I went into the Navy. And after high school, I went into the Navy, but it wasn't until I attended Morgan State that I felt that pride, that cultural pride. Because everything we do every day in Nigeria is what we do. So we don't see it as creating a culture. It just seems like everyday life, just like here. And so it was just identified. And that teacher who did that, who said that quote, and that's Frederick Douglass' quote. And so I couldn't believe it. And so growing up, having these, I then took our time to sit back and think, I was fortunate. Whereas though a lot of people didn't have those opportunities that I had. And so now I want to be able to share my cultures with the world and create a global family around cultures, around people getting to know one another. I think that we have so much racism. It's because we don't know the heart of a people. We don't know that culture. And it's so instead of trying to appropriate it and come and take it, learn it and build from it, build within and build out, instead of just taking it and just going away with it and depleting it. So I hope I answered your question, Ephraim. So that was how I was growing up. It was a wonderful experience. And I want that for my children and my children's children and all children's. And that's the reason with Mount Zion, we're trying to create these global families, because not only do we want our children to experience these cultures, but we don't want them to take a tourist approach. We want them to actually to delve into these cultures, to see these different cultures, to witness it. So currently, we're trying to make connections in Ghana, Nigeria, now South Africa, so that we can provide those opportunities for many children. And out of that, like this, it's been so inspiring, different things that we are doing. Nation Builders Incorporated is another one of our philanthropic companies. And their mission is to build the future and heal the present. And so with that, they want to provide scholarship, provide opportunities for the youth. So any business that comes work with them, a percentage of it goes towards scholarship for Mount Zion Preparatory Academy. And where another percentage goes back into the Nation Builders. The builders are a collective of businesses who were affected by COVID that came together to put on events together, to make money within their community, to give back to their community, so that our dollar can reach our community with 8 times or 10 times before now it circulates outside of our community. So it's a beautiful thing. I think that Black Lives Matter has really put in perspective our plight as Black people in the US, and is what we're going to do with it from now. Like, are we going to move forward? So all these programs that we're doing now, Nation Builders, Niger Soul, Mount Zion Preparatory, is to build our community, to build us first, and then to be unapologetically Black while doing it. And then having coaches, when they want to come to us, they come to us on our own terms, not on their terms. So we reclaiming our history and telling our narrative the way it's supposed to be told.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
There was a question in the chat, I think, to me.
Yes, Chris says, I just watched Stand and Deliver again. It is a story of Jamie Escalante, a teacher in Los Angeles, California. He got inner city Latino kids to excel in maths and advanced placement calculus when the teachers and administrators in the poor inner city of Los Angeles schools did not believe in the students at all. Especially their maths and science abilities. His story is so amazing and so pertinent to this program of the Women in Sciences. Thank you, Chris, for that comment. It's true. That's a very inspiring story to look at, especially today. And Chris further goes on to say, Mr. Salako, what type of educational programs are part of the partnerships with schools and countries? What kind of partnerships do you have?
Right now, we're developing those partnerships. So we're trying to establish those. And I'm a type of person that move with energy. So I have to feel that energy, feel that connection to know that we're working with good people. Like Denise, when I met that sister, I was like, oh yes, wherever you want, I'm there. I can help you. So so we're still trying to work out those connections, because you don't want to make these partnerships and it's not a good thing. So it's like, when most schools start, they tell you, they give you these beautiful pamphlets and they take you around these beautiful buildings and show you all that good stuff. And you're so happy. And then you enroll your students. And then when you get there, it's like, what the ham and cheese just happened here? Like, this is nothing like what they said. Like look at me now. Look at my hair. My hair looks pretty done, right? I would tell you that I've been so busy with all my planning that I did this an hour before this program started. Okay, the middle is not complete at all, and so so it's just it's an illusion of completion, and that's what some of these education programs look like. So we want to make sure that we're not dealing with an illusion.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And I'm absolutely loving your personality, as you say. Be yourself and express yourself, not in a boring way.
You know who helped me with that? Gary V. Do anybody know who Gary V is? That man cuss like a woo. I don't know, but he's telling good information. And he's like, just be yourself. People are just going to gravitate to you for you, and if they don't, then that's not who you're supposed to be in business with anyway.